Speaker for being with us today, or the Chairman of the National Assembly, and also the Governor of the Central Bank for being with us today for this important meeting and discussion that will be happening. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I am so glad to see so many representatives from the government, the private sector, and experts in this field to discuss the issues in the banking and finance sector of Suriname today. The United States has one objective for Suriname. One, we want Suriname to be a strong, stable, prosperous, and democratic partner to the United States. In short, we support Suriname's economic growth. And I would agree with the Chairman of the AmCham. The economic picture for Suriname going forward is bright. Now, Suriname's banking relationships will be crucial to the growth of Suriname's economy. And we have been listening to your concerns and to the concerns that we hear from local businesses and local banks. We have heard that U.S. and international policies may contribute to the difficulty in maintaining corresponding banking relationships. And indeed, according to an Atlantic Council report, Suriname lost almost 36% of its corresponding banking relationships between 2011 and 2020. We can't abide by that. Now, Suriname is not the only country facing these challenges. And we know that after the 2008 financial crisis, some international banks de-risked. They de-risked by curtailing operations in the Caribbean based on perceptions of weak compliance with international standards. And we hear from business people that it is difficult to bank here. We hear from individuals that it is difficult to buy goods and services from Surinamese companies using foreign credit cards or mobile payment services. And indeed, we hear from people that it's difficult to open bank accounts here. And I can use my own personal example. I asked to open a bank account here at a local bank about 4 weeks ago. I still don't have my bank account. I'm still waiting, and we're still waiting. So all of these are constraints that make it hard to do business. And any obstacle that makes it difficult to do business inhibits economic growth in Suriname. Concerns about de-risking have been heard in Washington. In 2020, the U.S. Congress mandated and funded a U.S. government-wide strategy led by the Treasury Department to combat de-risking. And Vice President Kamala Harris has recognized how problematic de-risking is in the Caribbean during her engagements with the Caribbean Prime Minister starting in April of 2022. As a result, financial inclusion is now a key diplomatic and economic priority for the United States. It is fundamental to growing sustainable economies. It is fundamental to achieving social safety, and it is fundamental to realizing a healthy democracy. And that is the priority we share with Suriname. We have heard from the highest levels of government that Suriname would like to attract investment from U.S. companies. And we know that you are already looking to the United States for high quality goods and services. And like other countries in the Caribbean, Suriname relies on trade for food, for healthcare, for production inputs, for tourism, for agriculture, and in other fields. And we hope that Suriname will continue to choose U.S. businesses as their primary partners. And for our business partnerships to work, however, it has to be easier to do business here in Suriname. U.S. companies always keep an eye on the bottom line. Anything that takes away from the bottom line will push businesses to look for partners elsewhere. Key items that we hear about are antiquated land titling regulations in Suriname. We hear about delays in getting documents like a residency permit or a labor permit. We hear about the unclear requirements to open a bank account, as I just mentioned. But another significant hindrance to greater prosperity in Suriname remains corruption. U.S. firms are prohibited from participating in corrupt activities under the U.S. Foreign Corrupt Practices Act. We know that transparency and predictability are good for business, and transparency and predictability are the key tools in fighting against corruption. We are optimistic about Suriname's future. The developments in the oil and gas sector present tremendous opportunities for trade. U.S. firms are looking to enter this market and want to partner with local entrepreneurs in various sectors, everything from the technical trades to tourism. But the inability to process transactions like credit or debit cards due to lost correspondent banks or the high cost in accessing U.S. dollars can deter businesses and tourists alike. So if Suriname wants to attract international business, modern payment methods must be accepted. We need to get rid of people walking around with stacks of cash in their pockets. They need to do business both in Suriname and for U.S. companies. To do the business here requires modern banking services. And for that, we need the legal structures and the technology behind the ATM or the payment app. To get there, we have brought in people who understand modern financial infrastructure. And that's what I hope will come out of this week's sessions. Ideas about how to modernize the financial infrastructure so Suriname's vibrant and innovative companies can do business, more business, and help grow Suriname's economy. To this end, we can help create conditions where U.S. banks and firms will want to work with you. Financial threats from money launderers, narco traffickers, terrorists, and other bad actors, and the illicit finance they generate